And number 13 in the world. He did drop out of the top 16 briefly, literally for a week earlier in the season, but he's back in, looking good for a Crucible seeding. And plenty of snooker to play before then. So another week of snooker then ahead of us here in Yushan.
Thank you. First frame, John Higgins to break.
Day one of the World Open, the 14th ranking event of the season. And welcome to everyone watching on TNT Sports. Welcome to the World Snooker Tour. The players from the UK have had to travel a long way. It's not the easiest place to get to, but the rewards are there. It's £175,000 to the winner. Big event this, and Mark Davis, of course, has had to come through, as Higgins has already around in the UK. He beat Liam Davis, the other end of the age scale, just a teenager, from 4-1 down, 5-4. Higgins also in a decider against Wang Yuchen, 5-4, just a few days before Christmas. So it was a sort of time where people are celebrating. Anyway, we're underway. Neil Folds alongside me, and I think we've already seen Neil on the intros and just the venue here. This is a big event.
It really is, yeah. Good morning to everyone watching. And many of the big names are here, of course. Interesting you point out the Mark Davis record against John Higgins is a very healthy one. As you rightly said, you know, a win at the Crucible kind of is all you need to know about the fact that he's beaten him when it matters, although, of course, Higgins has a slightly better record in 9-7. But as you say, Mark Davis qualified just before Christmas for this one and also the German Masters, but he didn't progress at the venue. But, you know, he hit a bit of form, actually. And he's always a difficult man to beat. Seems to retain, you know, his cue action and, you know, his abilities. So John Higgins will have to play well to get through to the next phase.
Yeah, as it stands, Davis's ranking is still lower than his age. He's 52, he's world rank number 50. Of course, Higgins turns 50 in May. But he's still a top 16 man. Best of 9 these matches. The winner plays Robbie Williams. Just get through to this middle red.
What?
Yeah, that was always going to be the problem. I mean, I didn't think he'd finish quite where he has, but just getting out onto the black was one thing, but he's finished horribly. So even access to any colour is not simple here. It's a bit of a ticklish position to be left in so early when you don't necessarily know if the cushions are going to slide or, you know, he needs to escape and get onto a colour to hit it. And that's not the most straightforward. I mean, he wouldn't want to be playing the black because that's going to leave him right close to the red, so he wants to escape down to bulk.
Green ball.
He's nominated green. If he hits this first time, that'll be a good effort. Well, if you just playing the simple one cushion escape, you can slide past these. Well, he's done ever so well. And that could not have worked out any better from the position he was in.
I mentioned those 3 ranking titles for Higgins in China. He actually won only the second one ever played in China. Back in 1999, it was obviously pre-Ding, before the boom. He won the China International in Shanghai. Stephen Hendry won the first in China back in 1990. But of course we talk about the class of 92 and Higgins is a member of that. Mark Davis is from the class of 91. That was the year the game first went open. Anyone who could afford to turn professional could do. And of course a lot of them were not of the requisite standard, but Mark Davis certainly has been, and he's been on the tour ever since. Albeit he thought he'd been relegated a couple of years ago, didn't he? But because of a few suspensions, he was able to keep his place.
One.
Yeah, that was a good shot because he couldn't be sure of getting the cue ball back around the table. And he deserves to be on a colour. Getting for his next red will not be absolutely simple, however. Well, that may not be too bad at all, actually, finishing there.
6.
Little delicate shot to hold for the black. First sightings, having seen some of the matches from the morning session, compared to the table they were using in North Wales last week, the pockets seem more generous here. I mean, it's something we do get used to. I mean, they're meant to be standardised, but the pockets are different, especially, it seems, in events here in China. The openings of the pockets are definitely wider. Whether they sit
50.
on the template the same, I don't know, but there's no getting away from it. They're conducive to good scoring, these tables. Same for both players, of course. That's what we always make the point of saying. So players that are in amongst them, you'd expect some heavy scoring this week.
Not the best season for Davis, really. A couple of last 32s in ranking events, his best performances. This is to get to that round. Oh, well, the pocket wasn't big enough there for Mark Davis.
No, just rolling it, wasn't he? And sometimes you can miss those on the thick side.
Extend this right.
Well, he wants all kinds of contraptions here. The long extended spider as well. It's a long way away from this. Over the two reds. Yeah, the shot that Mark Davis missed, he's still sort of thinking about. It was an easy one, clearly, but yeah, I can understand why he might have missed that thick. He's trying to hold for the black. But John has still got the problem of getting to this ball. So he's got a lot of equipment out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long old queue now, isn't it? All these extensions. It's all a bit wobbly.